Okay, this is problem 16, and it was cut off from the other page. And it says use the law of cosines to find AB. So remember, we have to have a match or a pair that we're looking for. So our law of cosines would go x squared equals 22 squared plus 23 squared minus 2 times 22 times 23 times the cosine of 102. So I will take the square root of both sides. Those will cancel, and then all of this is what I'm going to put in my calculator. So let's see what that So when I plug that in my calculator, I get x is around 34.97, which would round up to 35. All right, now I'm using law of sines to find the measure of angle B. So here's my pair. So the sine of 62 over 23 is equal to the sine of B over 13. So I cross multiply. 13 sine of 62 equals 23 sine of B. Divide by 23. Those cancel out. And then I'm going to have to take the inverse sine of all that in my calculator. So let me check that out real quick. And I get that angle B is around 23.9. So I'm going to round, 29.9. So I'm going to round that to 30 degrees. Just a note on this one, it looks like it's got a right angle here, but I don't know that for sure, so you can't assume this is a right triangle. So we use law of sines and cosines on things that are not right triangles. All right, next one, we're finding the radius and center of a circle, and we have to complete the square. So I'm going to move all the variables to the left, and all of the other numbers are going to stay on the right. So I'm going to make this x squared minus 4x plus blank plus y squared minus 8y plus blank equals negative 16. I'm going to fill in my blank with half of the middle number squared. So that would be 2 squared, which would be 4. Over here it's 4 squared, which is 16. So I'm going to add those to the other side. So that means to actually complete the square, I take half of that middle number, x minus 2 quantity squared, plus y minus 4 quantity squared. The 16 and the 16 cancel out equal 4. So that means that my center is 2, 4, and my radius is the square root of this 4, which is 2. On number 19, remember that these are bisected, so that means that this is a right triangle. 13.4 squared plus 7.1 squared equals x squared. So take the square root of both sides and stick that in the calculator. So when I stick that in the calculator, I get about 15.16, which rounds to 15.2, and that's what my x is. On the next one, it's the same type of question, but there's no picture this time. So we are going to make our own picture. So we have a circle. How far am I from the center? With a radius of 18 and a chord length of 28. So this is 18. This would be 28. Right angle, this whole thing would be 28. So that means I would have a right triangle where the hypotenuse is 18. This is 14, and I'm trying to find the length. So that's 18 squared minus 14 squared. Square root of that is equal to x. So we plug that into the calculator. And I get 11.31 is equal to x, which we could round to 11.3. On number 21, we are doing, let's see, E is 52, CD is 202, and I want to find AB. So 52 is equal to 1/2 the difference of 202 minus AB. So 104 multiplying by 2 to get rid of that half is equal to 202 minus AB. So I'd subtract 104 minus 202, and I get negative 98 equals negative AB. So that means 98 is equal to AB. Okay, ignore all the craziness in this picture. These right angles just mean that this is tangent. So tangent means this is 6 and this is 6. This is 5 and this is 5. This is 7 and this is 7. So it's 7 plus 6 plus 5, and there are 2 of them. So 2 times 7 plus 6 plus 5 is 36. Or just add them all up. 14, 24, 12 makes 36. All right, now we're on to power theorems. I want to find DF if EC is 13, CF is 3, so the whole thing is 13. The little part is 3, so that means this is 10, and BF is 5. So 3 times 10 equals 5 times x. 30 equals 5x. So 6 is equal to x, and that's the length I'm looking for. Okay, so next one, we have ON is what I'm trying to find. I know the whole thing here is 12. OP is 3, and PQ is 5. So it's part to whole is equal to part to whole. So 12x equals 3 times 8 is 24. So x is 2. Our next one's missing the picture. The picture is on the next page. So the picture looks like this and like this. G, F, 30 degrees. And we want to find the length of arc GF. So remember, arc length is 30 over 360, measure of the arc over the total angles in the circle, times my radius is 12. So times 12 squared times pi, JK, not pi, times 12 squared, nope, just kidding, let's try that again, times the circumference, which is 2 pi times 12. So I'm going to put all of this in my calculator without the pi, and that gives me 2. So my answer is 2 pi if I leave it in terms of pi.